Colton quietly climbed through the window of Emilee's bedroom, his movements slow and deliberate. He had been gone for 2 hours, chasing down a man who had been stealing mail from the neighborhood mailboxes with Zach, Chris, Mr. Rentz, and Mr. Dugan. When he left earlier, he had made the excuse that he needed to use the bathroom during the movie they were watching together, but now, as he crept back in, he realized the situation had escalated beyond what he expected. As soon as his feet touched the floor, Emilee sprang up from the bed, startling him. He had thought she was still in the living room where they had left off. Her eyes were sharp with suspicion and frustration.
Where have you been, Colton? You said you needed to use the bathroom, but you've been gone for 2 hours. No one takes that long. What's going on?
Colton stood frozen, the weight of her words sinking in as guilt tugged at him. He had expected an awkward conversation, but not like this. He wasn't ready to face her questions, especially since he couldn't tell her the truth.
Don't lie to me, Colton. Something's going on. You're hiding something from me. We're supposed to trust each other. How am I supposed to be in a relationship with you if you won't tell me what's really going on?
Colton felt a pang in his chest. He had sworn an oath to the Hero League, never reveal his identity or anyone else's. But this was becoming more difficult by the day. He and Zach, Chris, Mr. Rentz, and Mr. Dugan had been out chasing down that thief, but how could he explain that to her without revealing his secret? Colton's voice was strained.
I wish I could explain, I really do, but I can't. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just complicated. Complicated, Colton, how complicated can it be? You just disappeared and now you're back like nothing happened. This isn't the first time either. I can't do this if you keep running off and making excuses.
Her words hit hard, and Colton felt the conflict inside him deepen. He wanted to tell her the truth, to explain why he had to keep running off during important moments, but doing that would not only break his oath, it could put her in danger. He couldn't risk her safety just to ease his conscience.
I'm not living a double life, it's just... I have responsibilities. Things that are bigger than me and I can't explain them. Not yet. What kind of responsibilities, Colton? Are you in trouble? Is something going on that I should know about?
Colton clenched his fists at his sides, trying to suppress the overwhelming urge to come clean. He could feel the strain in their relationship, and the distance between them only grew wider every time he had to run off for a mission. But how could he tell her he was a superhero without jeopardizing everything?
I can't tell you, I'm sorry, Emilee, but I can't. I don't think I can do this. With tears in her eyes, she turned toward the door, her words soft and broken. I love you, Colton, but I don't know if I can be with someone who keeps secrets like this. I need honesty, trust.
Colton felt his heart drop as she left the room, the door closing softly behind her. He stood there in silence, the weight of his secret life crushing him. He had made his choice to protect her, but in doing so, he felt like he was losing the person who mattered most. As the room fell quiet, Colton sank onto the bed, burying his face in his hands. The truth was becoming too hard to hide, and it was tearing him apart. Colton stood frozen for what felt like an eternity after Emilee walked out of the bedroom, her words replaying in his mind. He couldn't lose her, not like this. The secret was tearing them apart, and though it went against everything he had sworn to protect, Colton realized he had to tell her the truth. She deserved to know. Determined, he walked into the living room where Emilee sat on the couch, her arms wrapped tightly around herself, staring into the distance. She looked up as Colton entered, her face a mixture of confusion and hurt. Emilee, we need to talk. Sit down. It's about time I told you everything. Do you remember the first time we met? At the massage parlor when that gunman came in? I told you I was just a customer, that it was all a coincidence.
Of course I remember, I was terrified. You saved me that day, I'm thankful for that.
But that's the thing, Emilee, I wasn't there by coincidence, I wasn't just a customer.
What do you mean?
Have you ever heard of the superhero The Blink?
Yeah, of course. Everyone's heard of the Blink. He's the guy who can shoot lightning, right? But what does that have to do with...
I'm The Blink. That day at the massage parlor, I wasn't there by chance. I was there on a mission. My team and I were sent to deal with the gunman before he hurt anyone. And that factory we watched the solar eclipse from? That's not a factory. It's Hero League headquarters. The room fell silent, Emilee staring at him as if he had just spoken in a foreign language. For a moment she said nothing, just processing the information. Then she shook her head, disbelief clouding her face.
Colton, come on, stop messing with me. What kind of story is this? You're the Blink? Really?
Colton said softly, the weight of his confession pressing down on him. He knew it was hard for her to believe. After all, he had spent so long hiding this part of himself.
I'm not messing with you. Colton, be serious. You've been making all these excuses and now this? I'm supposed to believe you're some kind of superhero?
Colton knew there was only one way to prove it to her. He stood up, extending his hand, and with a flick of his wrist, summoned a small lightning ball. The crackling energy glowed brightly in his palm, casting a soft blue light across the room.
Watch.
With a quick movement, he threw the ball of lightning at the coffee table and it hit a magazine, causing it to spark and catch fire briefly before fizzling out.
You weren't lying. You're really the Blink? I am. And I'm sorry for keeping this from you. I swore to the Hero League to keep our identities a secret. But I couldn't keep lying to you, Emilee. You mean too much to me.
Emilee stared at him, her emotions swirling between disbelief, amazement, and betrayal. She sank back onto the couch, her head spinning with everything she had just learned.
I don't know what to say. This is a lot, I know. And I'm sorry for how this has all come out. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I couldn't. It's a huge part of who I am. And I should have trusted you sooner.
They sat in silence for a while, the weight of the revelation hanging in the air. But at least now, Colton knew that the first step toward rebuilding their trust had been taken.
I need some time, Colton, to process all of this. It's a lot.
I understand, but can we—
Please, just go. I need to think.
Alright, I'll give you space. Hey, man.
Yo, Colt, you good?
No, not really. We need to talk. You're my best friend, and you're the only one I trust not to run straight to Carl or Connor.
Whoa, okay, what's going on?
It's Emilee. I told her everything.
Wait, you told her everything, like everything?
Yeah, I told her I'm the Blink, that we're not just a bunch of random guys who disappear all the time. I showed her my lightning powers. I even told her that the factory roof we watched the eclipse from was actually Hero League headquarters.
Dude, you know we're not supposed to reveal our identities to anyone. Carl and Connor are going to freak if they find out.
I know, but she was asking questions, Zach. She didn't believe me anymore, and I was losing her. I didn't know what else to do.
So, what happened? How did she react?
At first, she thought I was messing with her. She didn't believe me until I made a lightning ball and hit her coffee table with it. That's when it hit her. She told me she needs time to process it. She asked me to leave.
Man, that's rough. I mean, I get it. She's probably freaking out. Most people don't expect their boyfriend to reveal he's a superhero out of the blue.
Yeah, and now I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose her, but keeping this secret from her was tearing me apart.
Look, dude, I'm not going to judge you for telling her. If anyone knows how hard it is to balance this life, it's me. But you've got to be prepared for whatever happens next. Whether she sticks around or decides she can't handle it. You've got to accept that she's processing something huge.
Yeah, I just couldn't keep lying to her, man. Every time I ran off on a mission, I felt like I was betraying her. But now, I don't know if I just made things worse.
You're in a tough spot, but you've got to let her figure it out. She's probably overwhelmed right now. Give her the space she asked for, and when she's ready, you guys can talk. Hopefully it'll work out.
Thanks for listening, man. I knew I could count on you not to freak out on me.
Hey, you've always got my back, so I've got yours.
I miss him. I keep thinking about what Mr. Calaway would have done. He always seemed to know what to say, how to handle things without making a mess of it.
Yeah, man. I miss him too. He had a way of keeping things grounded, especially when it came to stuff like this. He probably would have handled this whole situation a lot better than we ever could.
He'd know how to approach this without getting Carl and Connor mad. He would have had advice for how to balance the hero life and a relationship. And now I can't ask him. I can't ask anyone who really gets it like he did.
I get it, Colt. Calaway was a hero in more ways than one. But he's gone now. You can't keep beating yourself up about that. If he were here, I think he'd tell you that no one has all the answers. You've just got to face this head on and do the best you can.
What if I made the wrong call? I already told Emilee the truth. What if Carl finds out and I get kicked out of the Hero League? What if Connor loses it?
You know what? You've got to go upstairs and talk to Connor. Tell him everything. Don't hide any details. If you try to keep it a secret, Carl and Connor will figure it out eventually. And that'll make things way worse.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to get them angry, but I guess there's no way around it.
I just wish I could ask Mr. Calaway what to say, how to handle this. You're right, I'll tell them. I won't hide anything.
Zach looks over, his voice steady but gentle.
And I'll go with you if you want. Back you up, whatever you need. You're not alone, man. Calaway might be gone, but you've still got the rest of us.
Colton nods, grateful.
Thanks, Zach. I'll need all the backup I can get.
Inside Carl's office, the atmosphere is, pretty tense as Carl tidies up his desk. Colton and Zach step in, ready for what's coming.
I need to talk to you about something. I messed up. I told Emilee everything. About me, about the Hero League. I couldn't keep it from her anymore. She deserves to know.
You told her everything, did you? Colton, you don't need to worry. We have a procedure for situations like this. This is a memory wiper. It's simple. We use this to erase any memory of your identity as a superhero from Emilee's mind. Problem solved. She won't remember a thing, and you can go back to your relationship like nothing ever happened.
Colton's voice trembles with determination as he responds. Colton, no, you're not going to erase her memory. She deserves to know the truth about me, about who I am. I won't let you take that away from her.
You have two choices, Colton. Either we erase her memory, or you leave the Hero League. You know the rules. We can't let civilians know our identities.
There's a tense pause as Colton tries to process what's happening. Colton, I can't do either. I won't let you wipe her memory, and I'm not leaving the League. I've dedicated my life to this.
If you won't leave the Hero League on your own, then I'll make that decision for you. As of right now, you are no longer a member of the Hero League. Hand over your costume, your weapons, your utility belt, your mask, everything the Hero League has provided you. I can, and I will. You broke the rules, Colton. We don't tolerate that here. Now turn in your gear and leave. If you refuse, you'll be considered an enemy of the Hero League. You'll be treated like any other rogue or threat to the League. Colton, you can't just... Enough. Leave. Now.
Zach, I'm out.
The weight of Colton's words hangs in the air as the reality of his dismissal settles in.
Colton stood in his private quarters, staring down at the bed where he had laid out his Hero League costume, mask, weapons, and utility belt. The weight of his decision pressed down on him as he packed the few personal belongings he had. Every movement felt heavier than the last, the gravity of his situation pulling at him relentlessly.
You don't have to do this, Colt. There's got to be another way. We can talk to Carl. He might be strict, but we can convince him.
No, Zach. What Carl says is final. He made that pretty clear. If I don't leave, he'll send the guards after me. I'll end up in Hero League prison, treated like some kind of supervillain. You know how this goes. I don't have a choice.
But this is ridiculous, Colt. You're not a villain, you're one of us. You've saved so many people, helped out on every mission. We can't just let this happen.
It doesn't matter how many people I've saved. I broke the rules, Zach, and you know Carl, he's not gonna budge. If I stay, he'll just escalate things and I'll end up locked up. I have to leave. It's the only way I can live a peaceful life. And Emilee needs to know who I am. I'm not going to wipe her memory.
Colton, Zach, the emergency alarm just went off in the man cave. There's an alligator loose in the parking lot of a nail salon. We need to head out before it hurts anyone.
I'm not going.
What do you mean you're not going? We need you.
Guys, Colton's out. Carl kicked him out of the League. He told Emilee the truth about his identity, and Carl gave him an ultimatum: erase her memory or leave the Hero League. Colton chose to leave.
Are you serious? Carl actually kicked you out? Over this?
Yeah, I'm done. There's no coming back from this.
That's insane. You're one of the best we've got. Carl can't just kick you out like that.
We're not letting this stand. When we get back from this mission, we're going to Carl. We're gonna tell him this isn't right. We'll stand up to him, all of us. You're not leaving without a fight, Colt.
You guys don't need to do that. Carl's mind is made up. I appreciate it, but I don't want to make things harder for you. Just go take care of the mission. I'll figure out what to do next.
We're not just going to stand by and let this happen. You're our teammate, Colt. You belong here.
We'll take care of the alligator thing first. But when we're back, we're going straight to Carl. You're not doing this alone.
With that, the group exchanged determined looks, and without another word, they turned and headed out of the room, leaving me standing alone by my bed, just staring at my abandoned gear. I wasn't sure what would happen next, but knowing my friends were willing to stand by me gave me a flicker of hope amidst all the uncertainty. As they headed off to their mission, I couldn't help but feel the weight of the decision looming over me. I wasn't sure what the future held, but one thing was clear. My time with the Hero League wasn't ending without a fight.
Guys, tell me I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing.
Nope, it's real. That's definitely an alligator, and it looks hungry.
Everyone stay calm. Just keep your distance for now.
Great. This is the last thing I needed today.
Zach, Chris, Mr. Rents, and Mr. Dugan stood outside the nail salon, staring down the massive alligator that had somehow found its way into the parking lot. The reptile hissed and snapped its jaws, its scaly tail whipping through the air as it inched toward them. The group exchanged glances, realizing they had to act fast before the situation got out of hand.
All right, guys, we need a plan. How do we take this thing down without causing a scene?
Well, we can't just blast it with powers, or we'll scare everyone around here. We need to do this quietly.
I could try to slice it, but I'd rather not if there's another way. We don't need to hurt it.
Right. We've got to do this clean. Mr. Rents, what do you think? You're the shapeshifter here. Any ideas?
I could shift into a bear. Bears are predators to alligators in the wild. I could probably take it down without too much trouble.
That's actually a solid plan. Go for it.
Without another word, Mr. Rents stepped forward, his body quickly morphing into the form of a massive brown bear. His fur bristled in the wind as he let out a low growl, his eyes locking onto the alligator. With a thunderous roar, Mr. Rents charged at the alligator, his heavy paws thundering against the pavement.
The alligator hissed and snapped its jaws, but it was no match for the strength of the bear.
Whoa, look at him go!
I've never seen anything like that before.
That's one way to handle a gator, I guess.
Rents, what's going on? You were doing great. Why'd you stop?
It's hard to be enthusiastic or excited about eating an alligator when Colton isn't here to see it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Feels wrong not having him here with us.
We'll fix this, Rents. We're gonna talk to Carl when we get back, remember? We're not letting Colton leave without a fight.
Yeah, we'll get him back. It's not the same without him.
I just hope it's enough.
We can't let Colton go through this alone, not after everything.
He wouldn't leave any of us behind. We owe him that much.
Well, let's make sure Carl knows we're not backing down.
Together we're stronger. That's always been true.
Yeah, and this time we're not letting anyone walk away, especially not Colton.
A deep growl echoed in the air as the alligator turned to face the group. It flashed its menacing teeth, preparing to pounce.
We're going to be eaten alive. We don't stand a chance against an alligator.
Yes, we do. I am hungry. With a powerful charge, he lunged at the alligator, picking it up with his hind legs and shoving it into his mouth.
Disgusting.
This is mesmerizing.
I've seen worse.
I have to ask, what did it taste like?
You don't want the answer. Let's just get back to Hero League headquarters. We need to tell Carl we won't stand for this.
Colton stood nervously on the porch of Emilee's house, his heart pounding in his chest. He had nowhere else to go, and he needed to talk to her. He knew she was still processing everything he had told her about his secret life as a superhero, but right now, he was desperate. He knocked on the door, waiting in tense silence.
Colton, what are you doing here?
Colton took a shaky breath, trying to find the right words.
Emilee, please, I need to talk to you. Can I come in? Colton, I told you I need time to think things through. You dropped a huge bomb on me, and I don't know how to feel about it yet. I know, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have come here, but I don't have anywhere else to go. What do you mean? What's going on? I got kicked out of the Hero League because I told you the truth. Carl gave me an ultimatum, either erase your memory or leave the league. I couldn't do it, Emilee. I couldn't wipe your memory, so now I'm out. I've got nothing. Wait, so you're not a superhero anymore? Not anymore. Carl made it official. I had to hand over my costume, my weapons, everything. I didn't want to lose you, but now I've lost everything. I didn't realize telling me would cost you so much. It did, but I don't regret it. You deserve to know the truth about me. I didn't think it would end like this. Come inside, we should talk.
Colton looked up, surprised, and stepped inside. The familiar scent of her home hit him, but it felt different now. It felt more like a refuge than just a place to visit. He followed her into the living room and sat down on the couch, running a hand through his hair, still processing everything that had happened.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize how much this would cost you. I needed time to figure it all out. I mean, finding out you're a superhero. It's a lot, Colton. It's not something I can just accept overnight. I get it, I know it's a lot. I didn't mean to rush you or make things harder, but I don't know what to do now. You lost your whole life because of me.
No, I made the choice. I didn't want to lie to you. I didn't want to wipe your memory and pretend everything was normal. It wasn't your fault, Emilee. It's Carl. He has these rules and I broke one of them. I just didn't think it would mean losing everything.
If I had known...
Emilee, you can't blame yourself for this. I made the decision. I chose to tell you because I love you. I want to be honest with you. I didn't want our relationship to be built on lies.
I don't know what to say. I didn't ask for this, but now I feel like... I don't know, responsible somehow. I didn't want you to lose everything over me.
Emilee, I didn't lose you. That's what matters. The Hero League. Yeah, it hurts, but I can find a way to rebuild, as long as I still have you.
I didn't ask you to choose me over the Hero League.
I know, but I did. There was a long pause before Emilee stood up and walked over to him, sitting beside him on the couch. She gently took his hand in hers and sighed.
I'm sorry I told you to leave earlier. I just needed time, but I didn't want this to happen to you.
It's okay, we'll figure it out together. I just didn't want to lose you.
You won't lose me, Colton. I'm not going anywhere.
He finally let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding, relief washing over him. For the first time since he left Hero League headquarters, he felt like maybe things would be okay. They sat there in silence for a moment, hand in hand, both of them processing the reality of what had happened and what was to come.
Colton, I think I can accept that you're a superhero.
Colton sat on the couch beside Emilee, his head down as he processed everything that had happened. His heart was heavy, but Emilee's presence brought a sense of calm he hadn't felt in hours. As they sat in silence, Emilee finally broke it. Was a superhero, Emilee. Carl made sure I'm not anymore.
No, you're still my superhero. And to everyone you've saved, you're their superhero too. Just because Carl kicked you out of the Hero League doesn't change that. You need to tell your story, Colton. Tell the world what the Hero League did. Let them see how they treated one of their best.
Emilee encourages Colton. Emilee, it's not that simple. If I go public, Carl will retaliate. He'll do whatever he can to silence me. He won't just let me tell people the truth.
Then let him try. You deserve better, Colton. You've given everything to this and they threw you out like you didn't matter. People need to know.
Colton didn't respond right away, his mind racing with all the consequences that would come from speaking out. But before he could think about it too deeply... So, we cut to the Hero League headquarters. Zach, Chris, Mr. Rentz, and Mr. Dugan had just returned from their mission. As they stormed through the halls, anger bubbled up inside them. They had barely completed the mission with the alligator, but honestly, their frustration wasn't about that. It was about Colton. They weren't going to stand by and let this slide. The group marched straight to Carl's office, bursting in without even knocking. Carl, startled by their sudden entrance, stood up from his desk.
What is the meaning of this?
You let Colton go like that? Just because he told his girlfriend the truth? What kind of leader are you?
I made the rules clear and he broke them. I had no choice.
No choice? He's one of the best we've got, Carl. You let him walk away without a second thought. What you did was wrong, Carl. Colton deserved better. You're losing one of the best superheroes this league has ever had.
I don't care how talented he was. The rules are the rules, and I enforce them.
What do you think Mr. Calaway would have said about this?
Don't bring Calaway into this. He's gone. His opinion doesn't matter now.
It does matter. He was the first superhero you ever recruited. He believed in all of us, including Colton. He wouldn't have let you throw Colton out without a fight.
You're bluffing.
We're not. If you don't let Colton back in the Hero League, we'll leave. All of us.
You think you have leverage here? I can replace you. I'll recruit more heroes.
But before Carl could continue, Connor stepped into the room, having heard the commotion from outside. He locked eyes with his father, his expression serious.
You might be able to replace them, Father, but you can't replace me.
What are you saying, Connor?
Carl's eyes flashed with frustration, but for the first time, uncertainty crept in. The room fell silent as the weight of Connor's words sank in.
What's it going to be, Father? Colton comes back, or we all walk.
The tension in the room was palpable as everyone waited for Carl's response, knowing that the future of the Hero League now hung in the balance.
You don't have the guts to leave the Hero League, Connor. You've been helping expand this organization for over 200 years. You wouldn't dare walk away from all of that.
You're wrong, Father, I would. You're letting your ego get in the way of what's best for the League. We've had superheroes with lightning powers before, but Colton is different. He's the only one who's been able to channel that energy, harness it, and even become pure energy, a walking lightning storm.
The room was silent as Connor spoke, each word landing like a hammer on Carl's pride.
Letting go of someone with power like Colton's could set the Hero League back centuries. He's the only one who could send shockwaves through the world and take down some of the most dangerous villains out there. And if you don't have him, the League's future is at risk. Without Colton, we're going to lose battles we can't afford to lose.
We've heard enough.
We're done here. If Colton's out, we're out too.
One by one, the group turned their backs on Carl, heading for the door.
And I'm leaving with them. I'll clear out my office by the end of the night.
You're leaving with them? You'd throw all of this away for one hero?
Yes, because you're making a mistake. This isn't about just one hero. This is about the future of the Hero League. You're not just losing Colton, you're losing your team. And without a team, there is no league.
The reality of the situation began to sink in for Carl. His eyes flickered from his son to the group that was now halfway out the door, and the gravity of what was happening hit him hard. He swallowed, his face tight with anger but also fear.
Wait, maybe I can reconsider.
Reconsider what exactly?
I'll think about bringing Colton back, but there will have to be conditions. He broke the rules and that can't go unpunished.
No one's asking you to ignore the rules, but you can't throw away a hero like Colton. He deserves a second chance.
We're not leaving until you make it right, Carl.
There was a long silence as Carl weighed his options, knowing full well that this decision could either save or destroy everything he had built. Finally, he let out a deep breath.
Fine, I'll meet with Colton, but if he's coming back, there will be consequences, and they won't be easy for him.
The group exchanged glances, relief washing over them, though they knew the fight wasn't over yet. They'd gotten Carl to reconsider, but there was still a long way to go.
That's all we're asking for. Give him a chance, that's all.
We'll see.
You made the right call, Father. Don't let your pride get in the way of what's best for the League.
With that, Connor left the office, the door closing softly behind him. Now it was up to Carl to decide how to move forward.
You know, just because the Hero League kicked you out doesn't mean you have to stop being a hero. You could still fight crime on your own.
Fight crime on my own, without the League?
Why not? They can't stop you from being a hero, Colton. Just because they don't want you, doesn't mean the world doesn't need you.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have the resources, the backup, or the intel that the Hero League provides, and if Carl sees me operating solo, he could come after me, try to stop me.
Let him try. You're strong, Colton. You've got powers that most people can only dream of. You don't need them.
You really think I could do it on my own?
You're already doing it. You saved me, remember? You've stopped crimes and supervillains without their help before. Why should now be any different? But we need to talk about us. About what all of this means now that I know your secret.
Yeah. I guess that changes a lot. I want to be honest with you about everything, but that also means you have to know when I'm going on missions what could happen, if I don't come back one day.
We'll figure it out, just be open with me, don't keep things from me, okay?
I promise, but this means when I have to go on missions, you'll know. And I can't always guarantee I'll be safe.
I'm okay with that, just come back to me, that's all I ask.
Brent?
Sorry about the living room, but we've gotta go. Carl wants to see you.
You're coming with me. If Carl wants to talk, he's going to have to face both of us.
Okay, let's do this. This is insane. What kind of van is this?
This beauty? I built it a few years ago. It was just an ordinary van the school district gave me, but I ran some science experiments and developed supersonic speed. Now it's basically the fastest thing on 4 wheels.
The Hero League definitely loves to take advantage of that. It's how we get to our missions in a flash.
Supersonic speed, so what? You just press a button and this thing can outrun a plane?
Pretty much. We've used it on dozens of missions. It's saved us more times than I can count.
So, how does the Hero League work exactly? I mean, it's not like you're just sitting around waiting for bad guys to show up, right?
Well, we've got a pretty advanced surveillance system that picks up on crimes, and we respond based on who's closest or whose abilities match the situation. We also do a lot of missions against supervillains that are on Carl's radar.
And sometimes we just get lucky. Like the time we took down that supervillain Thomas the Arsonist. We weren't even supposed to be there, but we stumbled upon him setting fire to a shopping mall. It turned into a huge battle.
That's incredible, and now Carl just wants you to stop?
That's the thing, I don't know what Carl wants, but we'll find out soon.
She was part of this world now, and no matter what happened with Carl, she knew one thing for sure. She wasn't going to let Colton face it alone. I can't believe I'm finally seeing this place. I've heard so much about it. I can't wait to see the inside.
If I get reinstated, I'll give you the grand tour of all 15 floors. You won't believe some of the stuff they have in here.
What is she doing here? Colton, you know civilians aren't allowed inside Hero League headquarters, and now you've brought her into my office?
She knows my secret, Carl. She knows everything. So why not bring her in? She's part of my life now.
Fine, but she shouldn't be here for this conversation. This is League business.
No, if this is about me, she stays. We don't keep secrets anymore.
Look, Connor made me realize something important. The Hero League can't function without your powers, Colton, but that doesn't mean you're getting off without consequences.
What kind of consequences, Carl?
You'll serve 30 days in Hero League prison. That's the price you'll pay for breaking the rules.
What? You're going to lock me up for telling the truth to someone I love? That's something a villain would do.
Rules are rules. If we don't enforce them, there's chaos. You knew the consequences when you broke the code.
Maybe you've been spending too much time talking on the phone with Plasma Man, or maybe you've been hanging around him too much since you've got him locked up in the basement, because you're starting to sound a lot like him, Carl.
How dare you compare me to Plasma Man?
How can I not? You're punishing your own, locking up someone who's fought for you and saved this league more times than I can count. That's not leadership, Carl. That's tyranny. That's exactly what the Villain League would do. Carl, I'm not going to let you treat me like a criminal. You need me. You just said it yourself. But you can't lock me up for wanting to be honest with the person I love. That's not how this is supposed to work. You can enforce your rules, but you can't treat me like the enemy just because I wanted to be honest. If you push me away again, you're going to lose more than just me. You'll lose Connor too. And who knows how many others will walk out after that.
I understand why you're upset, Colton, but I have to maintain order in this league.
Then maintain it with fairness, not with fear.
Fine, no prison, but there will still be consequences. You'll be on probation for the next 30 days. No missions, no powers. You'll need to earn back your place.
I can live with that.
But this relationship of yours, it needs to stay out of the Hero League. I won't wipe her memory, but you need to understand that our work here is confidential. That's non-negotiable.
Understood.
All right, I'll reinstate you, Colton, but you're on thin ice. Don't make me regret this.
I'm proud of you. You stood up to him and you didn't back down.
I couldn't have done it without you.
What the hell are you doing, Dad? This probation thing is a huge mistake. I don't know what you're so worked up about. We can't let people break the rules and walk away without consequences. The whole reason you reinstated Colton is because we need him on missions. He's one of our strongest assets, and now you're telling him he can't use his powers or go on missions. What's the point of having him back if you're going to bench him for 30 days?
It's not about the missions, it's about maintaining order. If we let Colton break the rules without facing any consequences, more heroes will think it's okay to reveal their identities to civilians. That's the precedent it sets. We have to enforce the rules.
But this isn't just about Colton, is it?
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb, Dad. You broke the rules too. Or do you not remember how you fell in love with a civilian in Rome while you were on that business trip, negotiating with the Roman government?
That's different.
How is it different? You didn't marry someone from the Hero League. You fell in love with a civilian while you were representing the League overseas. By your own logic, you should have been kicked out.
It was a different time. Things were different back then.
That's not an excuse. You broke the rules, Dad. If you're going to punish Colton for doing the same thing, then by your own standards, you need to face the same consequences.
I'm the leader of this league. I don't answer to the same rules.
That's bullshit. If Colton has to step down for 30 days, then you should too. You can't lead this league with double standards. Either you enforce the rules equally or you step down. Those are your options. And Colton did what he thought was right. He was honest with someone he loves, just like you were. S4, Media Group. Empathetic conversation between father and son in upscale apartment at stock at distribute_equally. I did what I thought was right back then.
You're suggesting I step down from the Hero League?
For 30 days. Just like Colton. If you want to set an example, then do it the right way. Otherwise, you're just proving to everyone that the rules only apply to some of us.
Fine, I'll step down for 30 days, but don't think for a second this means I'm wrong about Colton. Rules are rules and the Hero League needs order.
You're doing the right thing, Dad. It's not about whether you were right or wrong. It's about being fair.
The end.